Since these guys are both characters from Battlefront, that means I have the full right to use Battlefront 2 memes.
Just like the simulation.
Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Black Series Star Wars Battlefront 2 Gaming Greats, Jump Trooper, and Arc Trooper Umbra Operative version. So anyway, let's just get right on into this very nice set of figures by taking a quick look at their packaging. And as you can see, their packaging here is quite identical. They both have some little... They both have some artwork right there. They both have the Gaming Greats sticker. It says Black Series, has their names. And then nothing much really on the back. Just has a little bit of a brief bio talking about both of them. You can pause it right now and read it if you really want to. But that is basically it for the Gaming Greats packaging. Nothing much to really say about these. And then just briefly going over the accessories here. The Jump Trooper obviously comes with a jump pack. Are you surprised? I sure am. But it's done in some nice blue, white, and gray. Very, very nice. And again, it's kind of invoking that original, jump pack from like some of the Mandalorians. And then the Jump Trooper comes with this clone blaster pistol cast in black plastic. And then the Umbra Operative Arc Trooper comes with the same pistol, only it's done more in a gunmetal grayish kind of color more than the black. The jump pack obviously goes on the back of the Jump Trooper like so, and then the pistol doesn't really have a holster or anything to go anywhere, so you just have to kind of put it in his hand. And then the Umbra Operative, unlike the Jetpack Trooper, the Umbra Operative has the holsters where you can store his pistols, and that's really it for the accessories. And here is taking a look at the Jetpack Trooper. He looks very good. I like that Phase 2 helmet, which looks really good. And again, I love the color scheme here of the red, blue, and white. Really invokes that 501st Legion color scheme. Even though he's not labeled as the 501st, I still like to think that he is part of it. And again, the blue here is put on the armor very well. And if any of you are curious, the body over here for the whole clone body here is, if to my knowledge is correct, is the newer clone body molds, not the older one, which means it has some slightly new parts. Like, for example, there is a fake head underneath the helmet. Normally the helmets now are removable, but as you can see, they have a fake white head under there. And then he has like better double jointed elbows and such as that. Most of the sculpting and everything, nothing is different from that old clone body molds to the new one. The only thing that's actually the difference is the articulation, which we'll go over here in just a second. But like I said before, I do like the detail on this guy and how he turned out, because I remember playing these guys in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and these guys were always such fun. My only issue is I wish this guy came with a rocket launcher, because that is part of the Jump Trooper's character, is one of the accessories they had in the game, that they always had a rocket launcher that recharged. So I kind of wish that they included that accessory, because it is kind of missing here with this guy. If I was really reaching for complaints about this figure, besides the rocket launcher, I wish he may have maybe come with some blast effects or something to put here into the rocket to really emphasize that he's flying off. Going over the articulation, there is a ball joint at the top and the bottom of the neck, which allows for the head to look down a lot, look up that far to pivot the head and shift around and all that. It can swivel, shoulders can rotate a full 360, they can move outward that far, and again, due to the new articulation, the shoulder pads move inward, and so the arm can move out more. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which are still kind of limited, but they bend in farther than the old ones. Wrists can rotate and hinge up and down. He has a new diaphragm joint, which allows for some waist swiveling, ab crunch, arcing back. This belt is a loose piece. Hips can move forward, though it still does the rotating thigh thing, which is kind of weird looking, but you just got to deal with it. Hips can move back that far. They can move outward pretty far. And then the thigh swivel. Double jointed knees, which bend in pretty far. And then the ankles can move up. They can move down a little bit. And then he does have some ankle pivot. And then peg holes at the bottom of his feet. And here is the Arc Trooper Umbra Operative. This is one of my favorite skins out of the entire Battlefront 2 game. I love how this guy it's your Arc Trooper, but he's covered in this orange and black. Almost kind of looks a little bit like a Star Wars version of the Punisher, and with that whole skull kind of look to it. And I like how the paint isn't completely cleanly painted on there, like it looks a little bit scuffed, like he's been through a lot of battle, which is pretty good.
Our forces have lost control of a command post.
Hold on. I've got to get back to gaming. Alright, I'll see you guys in a second. Oh, shoot. I like the leathery detail of the little shoulder pads right here. He's got the ammo right there. Again, I love how armored up and tactical this clone looks compared to other clone troopers and even ARC troopers in general. Like, this guy looks like he's totally equipped to take on any situation. I like the backpack back there, but this is not a removable piece. Don't attempt to try and take this off. It is a glued on piece, but I don't really have any problems with it being glued on there. And again, the painting is the biggest difference here. The main standout is the colors, and also that he has this newer chest piece and this newer helmet. And again, really, really love how this guy came out. It does the video game design justice. My only problem is some of the articulation is just a little bit limited in some spots, but he's still really fun. So the difference between this guy and some of those other figures is, and especially with the Jetpack Trooper, is this guy uses the older clone body mold. So single jointed elbows, and like the ball joints and everything in the neck are a little bit more different, and some of the articulation and everything is a little bit more dated than some of the other figures. So like, for example, this can still drop down. His little targeting sight can drop down. That's pretty standard, but I still appreciate it. The head can look up that far, can look down that far, can still rotate, but no like pivoting or anything. Shoulders can rotate forward, they can rotate back. They could rotate up more, but the shoulder pad does kind of get in the way. Shoulders can move outward that far, which is pretty limited, and because this is based on the older clone body molds, those shoulder pads get in the way of arm posability. And also, no bicep swivel, but he does have this butterfly joint that's in the torso. The torso is at least a newer body mold, especially with that new chest piece. And then the elbows are the single jointed elbows, so they only bend 90 degrees. And even though he doesn't have bicep swivel, he does have some elbow swivel. Wrists can hinge in and out. As I mentioned, he has a diaphragm joint, which allows him to crunch and arcing back. Some waist swivel and some pivoting. Hips can kick forward that far while he has the little tunic on. They can kick back that far. They can move outward that far, even with this poncho right there. And then the thigh swivel, and then bend at the knee, which is a single bend, not a double bend. And then the ankles can still move up, down, and he can pivot. But again, because this is based on the older body mold, I feel like there's bits of articulation here that are kind of limited, such as the shoulders. But again, he's still really fun, and the paint scheme really makes up for a lot of my complaints on him. But yeah, I really do like the Umbra Operative. He's really good. So good, in fact, that I have a second one. And as for size comparisons, here are the two clone troopers from Battlefront 2 compared next to the last Black Series figures I reviewed. The Death Watch Mandalorian and Bo-Katan.
Sector is clear. Not clear! Not clear!
And then here they are to the last Gaming Greats Star Wars The Black Series figure I reviewed, the Clone Commando Boss Black Series from Republic Commando. So anyway, that's basically it for the comparisons. And that is basically it for my review on the Star Wars The Black Series Battlefront 2 Jetpack Trooper and the Umbra Operative. And yes, I do really like both of these figures, even though they are clone troopers. Some of them are not. I do appreciate that there is the newer clone body mold on the Jetpack Trooper, but I am a little bit disappointed that the Umbra Operative does not have that same body mold, because I do feel like, specifically in the shoulders, the articulation is a little bit limited, but I am still able to get him into some really cool poses, and I do love the way how the figure looks in general. My only real complaint is I feel like they are lacking in accessories, especially for the bit of the GameStop exclusive price you're kind of paying for a little bit extra of a figure just for a stupid sticker label. But overall, I still think these figures perfectly depict those gaming versions of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 clone reinforcements. And again, they are fun reinforcement characters, so I do have some personal attachment to both of these characters in particular. And yeah, if I had to give these guys some individual ratings, for the Jetpack Trooper, I give him a solid 8 out of 10. My only complaints is I feel like he's kind of lacking with that rocket launcher and some blast effects. And then for the Umbra Operative, I give him a solid 8 out of 10. What he lacks in accessories and posability, he makes up for in his paint scheme and his looks. So they both got the same rating, but for different reasons. So anyway, that's basically it for this review. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give me a like on the video. Comment down below what you guys think. Do you guys also like Battlefront 2? Do you guys wish the game would come back? Or do you guys want to see Battlefront 3? Or do you guys just not care? Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And I'll catch you guys next time. May the Force be with you. Always.